Ninth Biology, Unit 20, Organ Systems in Animals. In the previous part, we learned the structure of kidneys. In this part, we are going to learn the structure of nephron and the mechanism of urine formation. Each kidney has millions of nephrons. We have already learned that kidneys separate waste materials and send out the waste materials in the form of urine. Actually, the nephrons found inside the kidneys separate waste materials from the blood. If the nephrons are functioning, kidney will be functioning. If the nephrons are not functioning, that will lead to kidney failure. So nephrons are the structural and functional units of kidneys. A nephron has two major parts. They are renal capsule, renal corpuscle or Malpighian corpuscle. It is a capsule. And renal tubule. Renal tubule and Malpighian corpuscle are the two parts of a nephron. Malpighian capsule or corpuscle has a cup-like structure. Inside the cup-like structure, blood capillaries are found. This is blood capillary and the yellow color part is cup-like structure. Both together form Malpighian corpuscle. Renal tubules are long tubules. Tube is a visible structure. Tubules are microscopic structures. Now let us see the structure of Malpighian corpuscle. Malpighian corpuscle has two components. The first one is a cup-like structure, double wall cup-like structure called as Bowman's capsule. This is Bowman's capsule, double wall cup-like structure. The inner wall of Bowman's capsule has holes. Through the holes, waste materials are filtered. The second part of Malpighian corpuscle is glomerulus. This is glomerulus. Glomerulus is nothing but capillaries. We have already learned in one of the previous lessons that capillaries are the smallest blood vessels. They are microscopic blood vessels. Capillaries arise from arterioles. This is afferent arteriole. These arteriole branch into capillaries. And again the capillaries join, the branches join and come out of the Bowman's capsule as efferent arteriole. Afferent means first, efferent means next. We may have the doubt that from where the arteriole arises. Kidneys receive blood supply through renal artery and through renal vein the blood comes out of the kidney. The red color blood vessel is renal artery. It brings blood to the kidneys. Inside the kidneys, the renal artery branch several times and form many arterioles. Millions of nephrons are there, so millions of arterioles branch from the renal artery. And the efferent arteriole, many efferent arterioles join and form renal vein. The renal vein comes out of the kidney. Now it is very clear that from where the afferent arteriole arises and efferent arteriole where it will carry blood to. Now let us see the structure, continue with the structure of nephron. The second part is tubular part. This is Malpighian corpuscle. It has cup-like structure, Bowman's capsule. The Bowman's capsule is followed by tubule. The first part of the tubule has foldings called as proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal means first. Convolution means foldings. This is first convoluted tubule, proximal convoluted tubule. This is followed by a U-shaped tubule or hairpin shaped tubule called as loop of Henle. Loop of Henle is followed by the second convoluted tubule called as distal convoluted tubule. Distal convoluted tubule opens into collecting tubule. Many distal convoluted tubules open into a single collecting tubules. That means many nephrons open into single collecting tubule. This is collecting tubule. Here one nephron opens and many nephrons open. Here the diagram shows branching where many nephrons join. Glomerulus is nothing but capillaries. The capillaries arise from afferent arteriole. From afferent arteriole, because of branching, glomerulus is formed and the capillaries join and come out of the Bowman's capsule as efferent arteriole. This is efferent arteriole. The efferent arteriole again undergo branching for the second time, called a second set of capillaries. These are second set of capillaries. The second set of capillaries cover the nephron, entire nephron. Here it is shown in a particular part alone. The capillaries cover the entire nephron. Already, so now we have completed the structure of nephron and blood vessels found around the nephron. Now let us learn the mechanism of urine formation. This is the second part of this video. Urine formation takes place in 3 steps. The first step is glomerular filtration. While seeing the name itself, we can understand in which part this step will occur. Inside the glomerulus, filtration takes place. The second step of urine formation is tubular reabsorption. It takes place in the tubular part. The last step of urine formation is tubular secretion. It takes place in the tubule part. Now let us see the glomerular filtration. This is the first step of urine formation. What is filtered? Waste materials are filtered. From where waste materials are filtered? Waste materials are filtered from blood. This is Bowman's capsule. It is a double wall cup-like structure. This is inner wall. The inner wall has holes through which filtration takes place, and this is glomerulus. The glomerular capillaries are covered by epithelial cells. The epithelial wall of glomerulus also has holes. Through the holes, wastes are filtered. So Bowman's capsule acts as a biological filter. Through the Bowman's capsule, inner wall of the Bowman's capsule, filtration takes place. The substance after filtration reach inside the Bowman's capsule. Then the waste materials filtered pass through the tubular part. The substances which are filtered in glomerular filtration is called glomerular filtrate. So the glomerular filtrate comes this area and flows into the tubular part. While filtering the waste materials, that is useless materials, some of the useful materials are also filtered. Both essential and non-essential substances present in the blood are filtered. So what should be done? The useful materials which are filtered should be again taken back into the blood. The useful materials are again collected from the tubular part and sent into the blood. That is the second step of urine formation, called as. Okay, let us learn something, some more things about glomerular filtration before we move on to the second step. Blood is filtered. Filtration takes place through epithelial wall of glomerulus. Filtration takes place through epithelial wall of glomerulus and the inner wall of Bowman's capsule. So this is epithelial wall of glomerulus. Glomerulus is fine blood capillary. This is one epithelial cell, this is another cell, this is another cell. In between the cells, space is there. Through the space, filtration is possible. And this is inner wall of Bowman's capsule. It also has holes in between the cells. Through the spaces, materials are filtered from blood. From the blood, the materials flow through the spaces of epithelial wall of glomerulus and wall of Bowman's capsule. The substances which are filtered are called as glomerular filtrate. The glomerular filtrate flows through the tubular part. The filtrate has useful and waste materials. So useful materials, the needed materials are once again taken back into the blood. That is second step of urine formation called as tubular reabsorption. The glomerular filtrate comes to this proximal convoluted tubule. It has essential substances also. So these essential substances are taken back into the blood. From the proximal convoluted tubule, the essential materials, useful materials are taken back into the blood. Now let us see the useful materials which are filtered. Glucose is filtered, amino acids filtered, vitamins, sodium, potassium, bicarbonates and water. These are needed by the body. Our body needs glucose to get energy. So at the time of filtration, they are also filtered. So they come to the tubular part. From the tubular part, they are taken back into the blood. That is called as tubular reabsorption. Already we have learned that the tubular part are covered by blood capillaries. The waste, the useful substance like glucose, amino acids, vitamins, our body needs vitamins. Vitamins come to the filtrate and the useful materials are found inside the tubule. From the tubule, again they are taken back into the blood. The waste materials flow, the useful materials flow through the tubules and they are taken back into the blood. This is called as tubular reabsorption. The third part is tubular secretion. Some of the waste materials escape in the glomerular filtration. If a waste material escapes in the filtration, it cannot come into the tubule. A waste material escapes, that does not come to the tubule. That means that will move and flow through the blood. From the blood vessels, these waste materials are secreted into the tubule. That is the final step of urine formation. Some of the waste materials escape in the filtration. They remain inside the blood. They are secreted into the tubule. So this is a waste material. It escapes the filtration. From the blood, it is again taken into the tubule. That is tubular secretion. So after tubular secretion, inside the collecting tubule, urine is formed. Substances such as H+, K+ ions are secreted into the tubule. This tubular filtrate is finally known as urine. So urine comes to this collecting duct. The urine is hypertonic. Hypertonic means its concentration is higher than that of the surrounding fluid. It is concentrated urine, hypertonic urine. From the collecting duct, the urine enters into pelvis. Pelvis is a part of kidney. The cup-like part, the funnel-like part of kidney is pelvis. This part is pelvis. Millions of nephrons are found in this area. Millions of nephrons are found in this area. They collect waste from the blood and finally the waste comes to the pelvis. And from the pelvis it flows through the ureter and comes to the urinary bladder where the urine is stored. Then the urine is sent out through urethra. The urine reaches pelvis, then flows through the ureter and reaches urinary bladder. Urine is temporarily stored in urinary bladder and sent out through urethra. The process of sending out of urine through urethra is called as micturition. If kidneys are functioning, excess of water will be sent out in the form of urine. Waste materials are sent out in the form of urine. If kidneys are not functioning, all the waste materials remain inside the body. The excess of water will be inside the body. That is harmful to the body. When the waste materials are not filtered by the kidneys, that is called as kidney failure. If there is kidney failure, excessive amount of fluid will be inside the body and waste materials remain inside the body. So to protect the life, the waste materials and excess of water are removed from the body by machine, by artificial process called as dialysis or artificial kidney. When kidney is not functioning, the waste materials are removed by dialysis. The blood from the patient is collected from the hand and it flows through the artificial kidney. After filtration, the filtered blood is again sent into the body. In this way, waste materials are removed by dialysis. If this treatment does not show any improvement, the kidney is not come to the normal functioning after treatment, the final step is kidney transplantation. What is done? The affected kidney is removed and healthy kidney is taken from another person who is giving one of the kidneys, and through an operation it is transplanted. Kidney collected from healthy individual is transplanted into the person who has kidney failure. That is called a kidney transplantation. In this part, we have learned about the structure of nephron and the mechanism of urine formation and renal failure.